For problem number 28 through 30, solve each of the following quadratic equations. Each system must be solved using a different method. So you have to solve one by completing the square, one by factoring, and one by quadratic formula. And you can only use each method once. List the order of the method that should be tried to be used first, second, or third. So whenever you get a quadratic equation, which is the method that you should try to do first? Complete the square, factoring, or quadratic formula. So ideally, we should be able to try to factor first, factoring. Now, if you're not able to factor, then we will need to try to see if we can complete the square. And if we're not able to complete the square, then we should try the quadratic formula. And the quadratic formula works every single time. So if you wanted to solve all three of them by the quadratic formula, you'll be getting the correct answer. But in this case, we want you to use each method once. For example, on problem number 28, first thing we should do is we can see if we can factor. If we're not able to factor, then we will need to use a complete the square. Now to complete the square, your x square should be coefficient of 1, or just x squared. And your letter b, the one with the x, should be even. In this case, this is not even, so we will not be able to use completing the square. If you want to use quadratic formula, you can. But since we must use each method once, let's see if we can factor. So I use my double parenthesis. Factors of x squared are x and x. Factors of 10 gives me 5 and 2. And this is a positive 10, so they should have the same sign. But they need to add up to a negative 7x, so they both should be negative. If you multiply it out, you should end up with the same. So in this case, x squared, negative 2x, minus 5x is negative 7x. And negative times a negative is a positive 10, so that's correct. And from here, I'm going to use my zero product property. Since they're multiplying and they're equal to 0, zero product property tells me that one or the other has to be equal to 0, or both. So we have x minus 5 equal to 0, x minus 2 equal to 0. Solve for x, move the 5 to the right, becomes a positive 5. Move the 2 to the right, becomes a positive 2. And those two will be my answer.